Thank you. I'm in like 3 hours away from Bogota.
Beautiful.
It's really similar to the Lugar vegetation and climate and weather.
Oh. So, Megan, we want to look at the questionnaire, right?
Yep, and the mentorship series is almost ready. I need your guys' help on a few things, but I can show you where we're at.
Oh,
Um,
great.
so that's exciting. So you guys tell me where you want to start, where you want to start.
Well, we loved the way you redid the questionnaire. Totally fun and everything, but there were two or three little things to fix, maybe to make it a little bit more translatable, but there wasn't any way of changing that.
Okay.
I think because you had copied it onto your doc and we hadn't been shared in to edit it.
Okay. I need to find out where it's at, basically. Um,
Ha, ha, ha.
I assume it's in my new Megan folder. I think I created it in a different one and then moved it, which might be why it did what it did.
I've pulled it up, but it's just the view form.
Yeah,
Could you share the link in the chat here?
I'm going into my drive because it should be in there, but it's moving a
Do
little
you want me to share the link that I pulled up?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
No. Go away. Go away. Go away. Where's the chat? There's the chat.
Thank you.
And Megan, I shared the BF Quick Start guide that we're working on. I shared that with you in both your access emails. Is your new one with your last name?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I just have been literally on 8 million meetings and not in the Google workspace. I'm still basically barely functioning in terms of I need to like get organized. I was talking to Tisha.
I agree. It's yet another place to look. It doesn't seem
It'll be
ideal.
great. It'll be great. It's just we're in this interim period.
Yeah.
But I have to learn how to kind of organize myself in there. So that's why I apologize.
I figured out how to access things on my phone, which is a big step.
Yeah, I have it on my phone. Let's see, is it draft BP questionnaire probably? Yeah, I'm pulling.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Yes. All right, let me see. Hmm. Ah, weird. Anyone can edit that's in the group with this link, but anyway, who knows? All right, so I'm making Betsy an editor. Natalia, you're an editor. Um, it should be that it's like if you are in the access consciousness, anyway, whatever. I'm basically putting anyone with this link. I think we need to not share the link out right now, because then that'll be, maybe if you guys want to edit it, then we create a whole new one because for what I have it that anyone who is within the access consciousness, work set that they can edit. But if you guys aren't being able to edit it, then I don't know what's going on. So I can change it to anyone with the link, but then anyone who has the link to the survey could edit it.
Well, or just share it with Natalia and the three of us will work together. But there were only a couple of changes, like
Yeah,
adding
we're
the
so
word
small.
that to make it the sentence more translatable. You know, it was just
I
very
can
little.
add you individually, it looks like maybe. Should I add Pam too?
Yes, please. Thank you. It's come through.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. So I would love to know what what you're doing with the bars mentorship because I can't remember that.
Well, on the survey, there was a few, like there are things that I threw in here just so you guys know, but I also get that we may not have the system in place and we need to create a system for that.
Yeah.
The thing that I really liked about this, we have an email that goes out to people. Actually, it's a drip series that I've been like basically trying to update after somebody takes a bars class. And I'd like this to just be the main thing that they get. We could maybe send one more. But I think there's a few parts that are more in where it's going to require us to follow up and be checking the doc. So number one is, I included that may access contact you by phone because we really, for those of you, I think some of you know, but like right now, currently, the global engagers or anyone calling on behalf of Access, it's actually illegal for us to call them if they haven't taken a class with a class run through Access. So like if Natalia does a bars class, technically, and then the list gets uploaded into our database, we technically don't have the legal right, especially in mainly like Europe. It depends on the country, but we don't have the legal right to call them because they haven't, whatever the legal thing is. So if we add this consent to call here, I need to, number one, double check. I checked with ChatGPT and ChatGPT said it's like kind of barely legal. But it might just be another way for us to call and see, collect the permission to call and start building that kind of like a new way of a call list, like the call team or a crew of call team people could be reaching out to them in this way. The one above that question, would you like to be listed on the Access Consciousness website? It says, yes, I will check it out. I would like more information. So there's a few of these, like we need to follow up with them. And I'm not sure best how to do that. Is that the only one? There's another one about tell me more about taking another bars class. So we might need to look to see if there's a way to have it trigger. I personally think it would be a great thing. Like once somebody fills out this form, somebody is checking them as they come in and can follow up with them based on their response in whatever way.
Okay. Yeah.
Do that if you would like.
Yeah. But that's also going to require, I think there's like thousands of people taking a bars class every, month. So what can we create so that becomes more ease?
Yeah, because also you're going to get people that need translators to call them as well.
Yeah, exactly. So those are a couple of things that it's like, maybe we get it started, remove something if we don't have the system in place, but be willing to add it back in once we do. But to me, that's the level of engagement I think that would be very cool because right now, just having them respond is not, it's just one way information.
Yeah.
One of the things that we were going to suggest to adjust is that question, would you like to be listed on the Access Consciousness website as a practitioner? To have a link so that they could go right ahead and do that if they wanted to, because it's easy and it's free.
Right. Yeah. So we can just add that. There's a link to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one, thank you. I think that one I just didn't know what the link was. So tell me more could just link to,
Yeah.
we go here.
So the other thing is, Megan, we don't have access or haven't seen the doc where all the information data gets collected to. Is there a doc that this form is attached to?
So now, I mean, like what I see is questions, responses, settings. So since you guys are in here, you should be able, basically a Google form is in two parts. It's going to start collecting the responses. You guys can
So it says create a new spreadsheet or select existing spreadsheet.
Okay, so you didn't open a doc and do it from the doc, because usually what I do is I open the doc first and then I say
Yeah,
create.
I haven't done any. I want, like, to me, this was just like, I'm gonna just try and show you guys another way.
Okay, cool. Okay, so
And
we
then-
can attach it. We'll attach the
You can
doc.
create a brand new one if you want to. I don't really care. Yeah. However that works for you guys.
Okay, perfect.
What are you looking at? I have no idea how this would be translated. Are you looking at one for each language? Or I wonder if there's like a simple way that Google Forms automatically translate.
So we've looked at this before. I think we did it. We did a form for the SOP Gaggle at one stage,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you have to create new forms, but they can attach to the same doc. So you have on the bottom of the doc, you have all the different forms coming in. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'm not quite sure how that information gets put into the email unless, well, anyway, yeah. So each form, I guess, for the Portuguese, we'd have the Portuguese form in the Portuguese email, for instance.
So they can translate it on their own, by the way. I'm just looking really quickly. But you can manually duplicate the form and translate it. One form per language, share the links. Then you control the tone, Well, that might be cool. Like if we just know that, I don't know how we're going to be able to do it super clearly on the email thing. We can look into that. I mean, I think we can just, as like, I don't know if you guys see telecalls, but like, or some emails, like you just link to the languages at the top. A lot of times they don't even see that, but maybe there's another way of doing that.
So we could even in the English form, we could have the list of the different forms in the description part for the languages.
Yeah, that could work.
And we're literally just sending out the English form in all the emails, but then you click on your language.
Oh, that's cool.
Opens up the language.
I like that. I like that.
And then we have the email. I think we need to send it to somebody to do the language forms.
The what?
I think we have to send it in to someone to do the translation of the languages, obviously, and then they set up the form. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then let's get it to where we're all comfortable with it. The other thing, like, when we link to, say, create your whatever profile on the website, just to double check, is that translated? Because a lot of the shop pages aren't translated, which is okay. I think it's just good to be aware of, like, if you're sending an English translation something to a page that is in English only, we may want to look at whatever that is. And I mean, really, I would love, like, what can we create where we've got a few people who are checking in? We have the call team. They're like begging to do calls. So this could be a whole area where they could have access.
No, I think that sounds great, actually, to have them be part of this as well.
But then you guys can kind of train them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. Not just like they're free balling,
Exactly.
free balling everyone.
Okay.
Cool. I just realized I had a weird dream about Donna last night. I was like, I'm about to say you guys could reach out to Donna, and then I was like, anyway, wow, bizarre.
I know, it's funny who you dream about sometimes.
Like,
You've
I had
been
a dream
in
that my
mine once.
dog died. I had a lot of weird dreams last night.
I know you've been in my dreams a couple of times, Megan.
Really? What
Yeah,
a
I don't know. I can't remember enough.
appropriate things, hopefully. Okay. And I mean, if you guys want to add anything here too, like again, it was more about like less. I think the more we are really good at giving people a lot of information,
Yes.
and that is where they don't read and don't like. How do we engage them into like Gary's been saying, send them on like little breadcrumb trails. So when I looked at this, like if there's anything else you guys would really like them, because even like the social media piece, I'm almost kind of like I don't even know if that really, it's the thing they can do. But is there something else that's more more of a connection,
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Cool.
Or maybe the tour of consciousness instead of social media. Because if they go to the tour of consciousness, they will get.
maybe well actually maybe we look at kind of like we're like it's such a weird time because everything's changing, but we're creating a few like very very newbie courses for Dane, that are like really really, they're not going to have languages, but again we could add something like that in there. I think that like tour of consciousness has its own list. It's mainly Dane. For something like
Okay.
this, I like to have it more broader for all of Access Consciousness rather than just, one person. However, we do have like we've been featuring these videos of like tools, interesting point of view, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Like there might be sort of like, remember Laura when we did that very nurturing being you notes thing, and it was just like really
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um so maybe we look at that, and that could be like a question on here. Hey, would you like us to, would you like to sign up or whatever, opt in to receiving, some of our top 10 tools or whatever, stuff like that
Mhm.
comes off the survey. And that's what I could build into the drip campaign essentially.
Cool.
So I'll talk with Satu and Mafalda about, there's a few things you can do. It's like if this is the first email that they get after they take the bars class, like, hey, how was your class? Blah, blah, blah. We'd love to have you take this first survey. If they basically open or take an action, we can choose which one. Then that kicks them into kind of more of that nurturing. There could be 3 or 4 things with tools that get set up, because that's like the other thing I've been trying to sort out. Because right now it's very, very old. Whatever they get is old.
Yeah, and so much.
Yeah, too much.
I mean, I never read my bars manual. I never read, if I get an email that's more than a paragraph and a half long, I mostly don't read it.
Yeah. And
I
honestly,
do.
people aren't emailing. Like that's,
Yeah.
So. Okay, cool. Well, let's go from there and then meet up again, like check in again, maybe like in a week to see where we're at.
Cool. So do you want to fill us in about the boss mentorship
Yeah,
program?
I'm going to share my screen.
Just a second. Should be able to.
CRS totally on what this is. So
You're what?
I have CRS on what this is or what this.
So Gary, so basically like if you look at our facilitator quote numbers, they from a new facilitator perspective, bars facilitator, body process facilitator, facelift, certified, they're all like every year the new facilitator has been going down, right? So like there was this big push and then every year it's been going down. So that affects us in a couple of ways. One is mainly finance, like it is a revenue stream where we're having license fees coming in. So as those keep going down, but our renewals are actually staying steady, which to me shows like somebody probably signs up, they do a year, and then whether they don't want to fulfill a prereq to renew, or they just didn't do anything, or they're bored, like who knows why they choose to drop off. A while ago, I think it was like in the last, like a year ago, maybe, we had asked Gary about it, and he was kind of like, what if it's not about quantity? Like who says 10,000 bars facilitators is better than 5,000 bars facilitators if we've got quality 5,000 bars facilitators? But I think there's this overall thing that he's just really aware of engagement. And
Yeah.
so because they're vital, like people doing bars classes, people doing foundation classes, like all the classes, like that energy, if we can support them to keep going and growing. One thing that Emily did a lot of was like grow your business, 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 business. And I think that that's kind of like, when Dane's been talking about when we made it about the money, I think it's like, what if for me, I wasn't doing bars classes for money. I just did it because it was fun. And I think
Yeah.
if we start there, if we make it fun and we make it like this thing that they can add to their life, money will show up, but not make it so much about business, and it'll be about business, but done differently. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
using the Access tools to create your business, obviously business support, like if they have questions about anything. So that was kind of the idea. So I'll show you guys. I have like a small, like basically Sean, Iram, Jen, who work on a lot of programs just to like create it before I brought you guys in. Cause I was like, it was kind of like a lot to pull all together. It's not letting me share. There we go. Multiple presenters can share. So doo-doo-doo. So here's like the overall idea, which you'll see in a minute. It would be a call per week, $25 per call. Gary said $25 per call, and I sort of just threw in if they just want to buy the whole series, it would be 227, which is about getting like 1.5 off or whatever. Initially, Sean, who does a lot of like our marketing stuff, he was like, and we could sell this. I'm like, I really get it's not about selling a package or making a big fuss about anything besides make it about the call. If they want it, if they want one, if they want three, who knows? So I would like less emphasis on the 227 for the whole series. It just to me is like makes it a little bit easier if they don't want to remember to buy every single week. So the schedule, you'll see, I'll show you the page in a minute, but if we can hit April 16th, I've talked to the tech people, I've basically talked to everyone, then I think we can go for it. If we can't hit April 16th, we could start April 23rd and probably move Gary to that and have Gary kick it off.
Okay.
But then it's basically every Thursday. And I'd really love to keep it like Thursdays at 4 p.m. I think that'll be easier for people to remember.
Mhm.
If we can't get some of the people on at that time, like Shannon, or Shannon doesn't like doing late night calls. I mean, that's pretty late for Europe, actually. We could shift it and do like, I don't
That's
know.
11 p.m. Central European time.
Right. Okay. So that is pretty late.
Yeah. Is there any chance we can do it like 2 p.m. CET?
Possibly.
Because presumably we're also going to want to get it translated too.
Yeah, here, Dane should be back. Dane will be in India, but he should be back. Gary should be home. And
So that will
Simone,
be in the middle of the night for India.
May 21st.
Well, if Dana's in India, that will be like at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning or something. Because India is like 2.5 hours ahead of CET. So 11, 12, 1, 1:30.
No, he should be back from India.
Oh, he'll be back from India. Okay.
And why is the start date April 16th?
Because I literally had like to started creating this a while ago, and those were the dates that Andrew picked. What are you looking at, Carolyn?
Well, I was just thinking, I guess what I understood is that this was going to start after the Global Bars class.
No, it was more after Global Bars Day.
Okay, no, I don't have a point of view. That's what I thought.
Yeah, no, it's more after Global Bars Day. I don't think we can wait until after Global Bars class.
I think, Carolyn, what we were looking for afterwards was doing the office hours,
Mhm.
which we were looking at doing after the Global Bars class.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta go, man. We gotta create. If we don't get going, we're not gonna be going. So definitely not gonna start after. Like I said, we could push it maybe to like April 23rd for Gary.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
The sooner the better.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the page.
Oh wow, this is awesome. I didn't realize this was all being put together behind the scenes.
Yep. So Miss Iram has worked her magic. Um, it will be run through the Access Online Kajabi, the facilitator Kajabi. Currently,
Cool.
it's like listed, like Sean's got to do some reconnections because it's not connected in the right place, so that the payment
Yeah.
needs to get sorted. So this is the main page. So she's got here, I think we might need to like change this slightly, but I really like the layout of it all.
Yeah.
So weekly calls, different mentorships. The private Telegram thread, what I'm thinking is that we just have one big Telegram thread and people come and go. So we're not dropping call details, but it's kind of like Laura on like you got this, or conversations in consciousness where people are coming and going, but it's not, it's kind of like to build and keep
Yeah,
them.
understood. Yeah.
The schedule is not correct, quite obviously. But
But
here's
I like how it's looking.
Yes, very much.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
good. And I just
Um,
wrote random bios for people. I need to check these and and probably correct them. And not everyone's here. Like, I don't think, oh, there we go. I don't think Arthur's on here yet. And Sean. So there's a few missing, but that's what it will look like. And then ideally, what she showed me, let me see if it's functioning, is that they can go and buy. It's not clicking. Mine clicking? So here, I think once the payment gateway gets set up, here is where up here it will be like, you know, join this individual call.
oh, they're great. Yeah,
Will they
that's
be
great.
available to purchase afterwards?
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
So the idea is, and Iram seems to get it, so that's all that matters, is that it'll be like this. Here's the schedule, but say if somebody misses it, they can go back and just buy that individual one. After the 12 weeks, obviously we can take the dates off, and we could even, originally I was looking at having different titles for each one, but I feel like let's just kind of free for all it, and then we can always add the things that were covered.
I was going to say afterwards, maybe slightly summarize it and then
Yeah.
give it.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So let me see. There was some other.
So okay, so who is contacting all the people? Are you doing that, Megan? Is there anyone who's
I was
sort
going
of,
to ask for your help, Laura, if you want to do it.
yeah, I'm happy to step in and help with that.
Um,
I mean, I was hoping that it would be a little bit further out from maybe Global Bar Celebration.
well,
But
like I said, if April, like to me, I just know that I have to like push it. Otherwise, it
yeah,
keeps moving. Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
So if I think Gary, let me see, Gary is leaving for Geneva. Let me make sure I think April 23rd would still work for him. And that gives us a little bit more time.
Yeah, I like that April 23rd, but a little bit more than the 16th.
Yeah, I know. Let me see here. Yeah, he doesn't leave till April 27th. The 30th is like the only time that works for Simone. which we could start with her. Like, I have no problem doing that. It's just that then Dane and Gary are like Gary's traveling.
Yeah.
He's back in May. So anyways, so if we need to push it to the 30th, we could do that as well. The other thing that I was kind of wondering about, which I don't know why I can't get back to let me see. Is I could even do like a Zoom to kick it off, like a free thing, so people know what we're talking about. But I could also, you and I could go live, or anyone, we could just go and talk about it with facilitators. The key for me, like Erin was going to create individual graphics for every facilitator, and I'm like, it's not really big social, it's just for facilitators. So it's like, if we email them, if we're sharing in facilitator threads, if we're sharing in facilitator Telegram threads, like, how can it be that it's, basically this, we start, they join, they can continue to join or get it later as well.
Yeah.
And then it'd be great if there was an obvious link in the Ning, in the different Nings.
Right. Yeah.
Because they took some of that away, and I got them to bring it back, but to have the graphic that people could click on, because not everybody, in fact, a lot of facilitators don't go into the Kajabi.
Right. They go into the Ning.
Yeah. So if we could get that
once we have the link and the graphic, I can, whoever does that, like, I have nothing to do with the Ning, so whoever can get that there, if you want to do that, Carolyn.
Sure.
I think Betsy updates all that. Yeah.
Yeah, Betsy will do it, but I can ask her.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just not there yet. We will be soon. I think that was that. Let me see.
Can you go back to your notes? I'd love to have a look at the.
Yeah, I wrote something else. Where did I write it?
So all of these other guests, they haven't been contacted yet. So we just need to, or have you given them a heads up?
Grace sort of knows. David, but everyone has CRS. Katarina sort of knows. The people that probably don't have any clue what this is Chris Hughes, Shannon, Arthur, and Andrew.
Okay.
And also the other thing is if this if people like this, we can always also keep going. Like, we could add more people in. Or if there's anybody that's not here that you guys get, would be, Gary was sort of just looking at like the key, like some of the main people and going from there. I was also looking at having, like, either I could host it or you could host it with me, Laura, but I think having people start it out in a way that's weaving each one together. You know what I mean? Like, if it becomes an individual series, then it doesn't have that connection. Where if it's like, I mean, you've done this a lot, Laura, where it's like, okay, well, last week, Simone shared la la la. Like, what's your take on this? Or,
Yeah.
And then, like, this CF training,
have a cliffhanger at the end of each one.
Yeah. And this CF training has been so awesome. Like, I haven't heard Gary talk this much about like class creation in a while at a CF training. So even taking, like, I have some notes from it, but things like, in choosing a venue, and I don't know, there's just, I personally think I had another list of questions somewhere.
So the other thing is, presumably none of this has gone into translation. That we need to get we need to get translators on, we need to work out what languages.
I would say it's kind of like it would be the ones that we have most translators in for facilitators. I think I've talked with Maya about it, but
we're not getting Betsy to do this. We're getting the telecall team.
I met with the tech guys and they said they'd like to do this. I think Betsy can definitely help out. But it becomes, Betsy, the free Zoom gaggle has a different sense than when we're running something like through Kajabi with Dane. It becomes a little bit more, I don't know, professional in some way. they pin people differently. Like I just had a whole meeting with them about their complaints of people who, like if Gary's like, oh, look, Arthur's not wearing a shirt, they would pin Arthur so people could see Arthur not wearing a shirt rather than just keeping it on Gary. You know what I mean? So it's like creating the product is what they're really interested in so that you don't feel like you've missed out on something because you're not on it live. So I think they would like to do that. Jen is on board. She's done a lot of this kind of stuff. So I think that's great. And then what else? Yeah, we need to get translators lined up.
So then I definitely think that if we can start on the 23rd as opposed to the 1st, because then, it gives all of that side of things a little bit of space as well to create
Sure.
with the translators. And then the only other question I have is about the timing, because I do think 11 p.m. is quite
Yeah,
late.
I will ask Andrew why he chose 4 p.m. Like we could do, I think I have reserved for Simone 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Texas. Let me see. Oh, I have a 1 p.m. Texas. She has something already at 2 p.m. Texas, I think.
So could we do 1 p.m. Texas each day?
Quite possibly. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't choose that. So I will check with Andrew. He's navigating, 8,000 schedule things. So I will check.
I know.
So
Yeah,
1
okay.
p.m. Texas is 4 a.m. in Brisbane.
And it's 8 p.m. in Central European. I think it's 5 a.m. in Brisbane. Because they are
I'm
so
using
2
Time Buddy, but maybe things will change.
Things will change in a few days.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And then it's only 10 p.m. in Dubai. So I mean it's doable, except for
So Meg,
Um,
should we get everyone involved together just to look at where we're at with everything and
yeah, we
maybe
can.
because I think that would because for me when I do something like this it's much easier for me when I've started at the very beginning, because then I have a sense of how everything is and
Yeah.
where we're at. But I'm it's pulling all the pieces together.
Yeah. We'll allow the chaos.
I love it. I think it's great. I'm just
There's gonna be
really
more. There's going to be even more chaos coming. I'm just saying.
I'm actually really impressed that this has happened behind the scenes. I had no idea. I knew it was talked about and something
I have
that
things where I just know it's in my head, so I just need to fucking crank it out and get it done.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
That's great.
that was the thing. And it ended up being that strangely enough, because Gary, Dane, and Simone are the hardest to schedule, and Andrew scheduled these probably like a month ago. And I looked at it and I was like, wow, they're all on Thursdays. This is going to be amazing. Because I was like having a panic attack about having to move days. For me, it's like so much easier if it's on one day, the same day every week, and jumping around and jumping time zones.
So can I just
easier
look at
for
the date?
everybody.
Yeah.
Are we looking at doing it once a week? Is that how I didn't connect?
Yeah, it's once a week.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, once a week for about an hour
12 weeks, right?
for 12 weeks. Yeah. So
Mhm.
the dates are here. So if we start April 23rd, it would go to July, whatever.
18, more or less.
Cool.
July 16th.
16.
Yeah.
So Megan, when should we organize like a create meeting for this with everyone so we all are on the same page?
Probably next week.
Okay.
Because we've got today's day 4 of CF training. And with Sarah leaving, there's a lot of stuff happening. Like there's just a lot that is moving with translation stuff. So
Yeah.
But this, like, gathering people for this, like, they can also jump on and jump off. We don't even need to have the same translators on every single time. Like,
No.
it's whatever.
Could we use this time next week to have a meeting?
No,
Okay.
it's my birthday. So I'm not going to have extra meetings that I don't already have.
No, you definitely can't do that.
But we could do it the day before, probably. Yeah, April 1st could work.
Oh,
But I think
okay.
a lot of people are trickling. Like, I think Pam gets back. Like, I don't know if the 1st is kind for people that are getting like Maya and Tiffany are like ringleaders of telecall translation.
Yeah, yeah.
Maya to me is like, I need her to get back and kind of land. I don't think I asked Pam yesterday. I think she's like back on the 30th or 31st. Maybe I should just do it on my birthday and then.
Well, because we then got Good Friday on Friday, but I mean on the 3rd, but I don't see we could try and I don't know, does anyone
So
meet on Friday? I'm happy to, but I'm not sure if lots of other people would.
why don't we currently block it for this time on the 2nd? So it would be my 10 a.m. I think.
So we have on the 2nd, we've got the Global Bars Create meeting at this time next week.
So 1 hour later, maybe by 11 a.m. Actually, next week might be shifting because you're catching up to where we are. So right now, like we need to look at time and date because you're about to jump forward.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Oh, darn. Okay.
And I'm not even going to try and figure that out right now.
Oh my God. And everything is happening in that week. I mean, it feels very full on, the 1st and 2nd and 3rd. And then it's the Easter weekend.
Yeah, so then why don't we meet? Honestly, most of the people who are going to work with us, they know they've done this a million times from, you know what I mean, from Dane's stuff to whatever. So I think we could maybe, the other thing we could do is Monday the 30th. Just have kind of like, if Monday the 30th at like, I need to send a time and date link basically.
I actually can't do Monday the 30th or the 31st.
Why?
Sorry. I have a girlfriend's coming to stay and I haven't seen her for ages and ages.
Ever.
Yeah, I know, the worst timing ever. But she got shingles the last time she was supposed to be here and cancelled the 2 days before. So
that's funny.
Yeah, she's only here for like 48 hours, but I would like
So
to be.
How about Thursday the 9th, Thursday, April 9th?
Yeah, I think it needs to be the week after Easter, really, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
is that gonna give us enough time I think.
For me, everything like there's a million days in one day now. So I think we'll be okay.
Okay, so let's do Thursday the 9th, and should we do we'll do around this time.
Well, what is your time right now is not going to be your time.
I know, so we'll have to be, well, let's do it off Houston time.
So
11 a.m. Houston time?
Yeah, right now it's 15 minutes. Wait, no, sorry. Currently, right now, it is 11:45 a.m. in Houston.
So it's going to be 12 o'clock. So that's going to be my that will be my 6 p.m. because I'm 6 hours, usually 6 hours ahead. So
I'm pulling up a time and date thing.
we could do an hour, 11 a.m. Houston, which will be 6 p.m. CET, which will be 5 p.m. for me. Or we could do even do 10 a.m. Houston, actually. Do you want me to create a date time link and then you can look on that?
I just did. I just dropped it into our thread.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that says now. This is happening right now. That's the link you've just sent is in progress.
Yeah, that was the same day, hour we had like for today. So I just sent it here. But Megan sent another one there.
Oh,
On April 9th. I don't know what's so confused. This is
oh, you sent it in WhatsApp, not in the Zoom.
Yeah,
Okay.
in WhatsApp.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I think let's do that. Does that work for you, ladies?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Megan, what would you like Natalia and I to do for this?
You guys let me know. I mean, it'll essentially kind of run like we run program. How do I describe it? Run like how we run programs through Kajabi for Dane. Like we do, it'll be, there's a whole technical side of it is kind of where I get super hyper focused on how it will all work. But I would say like anything that you're aware of how to bring it to all facilitators so that they know, so that they can sign up, so that it's in top of mind all the time. Whether that's meeting with callers, it's meeting with on a facilitator meeting, however you get basically like tell the world so that everybody knows it's happening ongoing. So the other thing that happens with the thing that goes for 12 weeks is people have enthusiasm for April 23rd and then they die and go to sleep and forget that we're doing something. So like that ongoing every single week building for every single one of them to be the best thing that's ever happened that week.
True. We can tell them that it'll be shirtless Arthur every meeting.
Right.
And they can ask questions, right? Or it's
Yeah, it'll really depend on how many people we have on.
Okay.
If we climb above like 1,300 people live, what would it take? Then they'll be able to like write in question. We could create a question form that they could submit things to. It's kind of like when we have these, to me, it could be like when we have those big holiday calls for Gary and Dane. Like if once you cross 300 to 400 people, it becomes really fucking out of control. So taking live questions becomes harder. Gary is doing it. Dane probably will just read the chat, but it might be something that we can like, I think this is what I would love your guys' input on is as we see how we go, like if we do a question form, which we could do, and there's a lot of the same questions, like we could bring those questions up. I personally love when people get facilitated live with Gary or whoever. I think it's so engaging. So it might be that we, kind of have a sense of who that might work with or for. Gary may just go rogue anyway, but I think we'll need to kind of basically choice creates awareness. So we got to see where we're at. Do we have 200 people on or do we have 1,500 people on? Do we those are all the things we just don't know yet.
So, two things, Megan, are you able to add us to this doc? So we've got the details here and the schedule. Yeah. And I can I'll create a proper schedule, but I just need the dates,
Yep.
From this doc here
And
or whatever.
I can add you guys into a thread that I have with Iram, Jen, and Sean.
Yes. And I was going to say, who
My
do we need
only
to add?
request is that if you're not involved in something, just don't chime in. Like there's going to be questions until we get things ready that are about payment options, like that kind of stuff. So just to me, that's when it's like you had too many cooks in the kitchen. Like just don't, if it's not something that you deal with, just don't bother with responding. Otherwise, if you're chiming in about pricing and I'm like, come on, let's hold on.
Yeah.
So the other thing
I think it would be
is
fun to wrangle the questions.
that would be great, Carolyn. Yeah,
Well, maybe Natalia and I could do that.
that would be awesome. Yeah. And even like you guys chiming, like again, we'll see when we get there if it's 1,000 people or whatever. But you know, chiming in with things as you go along. I think if we all create it together, it's really different.
Yeah.
So,
Fun.
what if it's like the place every facilitator wants to be on Thursdays?
What do you mean chiming in? I'm worried now about posting stuff in there. Can you say more?
If Jen's asking a question about something that you haven't been involved with, just don't
Yeah.
say anything because there's so many details with this currently
Yeah.
that need to get worked out. So either side message me or you know what I mean? Like because there's so many pieces, so many things going
Well,
on.
why don't you keep that thread as it is, and then they
And then
can.
I'll add you guys in when this is ready, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I was going to
Awesome.
say, but so in the meantime, who do I need to send the date time link to? Jen? Who
What?
should be on this who should be on this meeting on the 9th?
I'll handle that. I'll do that.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you want to do that?
Yeah, because I'll pull together the people that I've already talked with, basically.
Okay.
What I need your help with is I'm going to confirm with Andrew these times, the 1 p.m. Texas time, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Once I confirm that with him, I'll let you know, Laura, so that we can get everybody else contacted.
Okay. So at the moment, what you want me to do only is to invite the guests onto and to get them scheduled in, basically.
Once I confirm the 1 p.m. time,
Okay.
Andrew.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's at least that's now what I.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then
to
we go.
invite the facilitators in the chats. Do you have like the chats of the facilitators?
Do you mean these particular ones or all facilitators? What do you mean?
Like all facilitators? Like I know there's some chats for facilitators, for example, in Colombia, in each country. Can we have like the link for that to invite them to this?
So for CFs, we have different threads for every country, which we can add you guys into. For bars facilitators, I have no idea. I know we have an official Telegram for Brazilians and Spanish for Telegram, and there's nothing really else that exists that's organized. There used to be, but it doesn't. There's, I feel like at a certain point, people created a WhatsApp thread for Argentina BFs, maybe, but I would say that you've got the people that are kind of like what are they called? Like customer service, like Nymphis and Fede kind of for Spanish.
Like at the end of last year, Nymphis and Indalecio created one for Colombia with only facilitators, bars facilitators. So I was wondering if maybe
I
each
don't
country
have
has one of those.
no.
Okay.
It's what we've done so far is that if somebody reaches out and would like to do that, they can. They have to be the ones that continuously add their energy and check in on it. And so I don't even know. I don't think there's another beyond what we have for CFs and WhatsApp and Telegram from a bars facilitator perspective. We have like bars facilitators in a Facebook group. That's the main place. We have body process facilitators in a Facebook group. That's their main place. But where it's gone a bit awry is all the other chats that people create. Okay. So I would add, like, from a Spanish perspective, ask around. I think the thing that'll be a little bit key is we have to be very clear. It's for facilitators. So they have to be a bars facilitator. They have to be a whatever they have to have an actual active license. Not even like we didn't include CFMWs. If they're a bars facilitator and a CFMW, they can be on. But if they don't have like an actual license with access, it's not for them. We aren't going to be we're not going to be running it through our prereq check though, because Kajabi is hard to do that.
Okay.
They'll have to note what they are. So it might be that people come on, but I think that's where things go crazy. If you don't share it with that clarity, then other people don't have the clarity and they will blast it everywhere. And
Yeah.
then it becomes a $25 call with Gary Douglas instead of a call for facilitators. So that's where I get super controlling.
Yeah.
This is specifically for facilitators. So
Perfect. Thank you.
and I'm gonna have to me, this is also the beginning of actually using the facilitator Kajabi. It could be used for so much more. It's currently not generating revenue at all. There's a million things we could do with it over time as well. So
I think also a lot of people are have got used to Kajabi too. So it's
yeah. But right, I don't go into Kajabi I don't facilitate that many things ever. I think I only have access to CFMW because I'm always looking to see what we need to update there or whatever. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's not facilitators and yeah. There's always questions about that and how do I get into my business Kajabi? How do I, that's why it also needs to be clearer in the name, but I keep asking about that.
I think no one's really Sean is more of a, Kajabi is for courses and library of courses. So I don't totally, I know that Emily had gone in and rearranged it and everyone was really happy with it. But I haven't seen what that is, but I don't know. I don't know what it is I don't know if how we're using it seems like it's just a duplication of the Ning. But if we can create it as a place, again, kind of like we created with the survey, rather than it being a place where they just go to and sift through information, it could be more we could be pulling things out of material that's hey, here's, a free course on how to create a class or whatever or 10 questions, you know what I mean? It could be more engaging instead of information driven. So, but all of this is just an area that's gone dormant, basically. So it's not a problem. It's really hey, what can we create now?
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So Megan, I'm gonna sit tight. Will you contact me when you've got Gary sorted, and then?
Yes, and if I don't contact you within 2 days, ping me.
Okay. I'm putting it on my diary, on my calendar.
Because every day becomes a new adventure of all these things that I didn't know I was going to deal with, and then everything that I was going to deal with gets shifted somewhere. And
have you got the list of the guests we want to ask on that doc there, so that I've got those details somewhere? Yes. Yeah. Okay. And are we asking them to, I don't know, obviously not a subject specifically, but just some idea as to what we want to invite them to talk about?
I think there's 14 people there. I think I was going to pair people up maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I was gonna pair. Sorry, I'm just doing this so that I remember. So I would lead, I'm just going to make some space. I would lead with making sure these, that's 12, am I counting right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh no, I messed my whole this. Anyway, I'm gonna go through this. Basically, like if we need, like I'd if dates become a thing, there's a few people who we could just not have within this 12 weeks and have them come on another time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And is there and my question really is, what are we inviting them to come on and talk about, or is it just
I'll write it out. Yeah. I have
okay?
a whole other note section that isn't on here because I didn't want Aram to put it on the website, but I will.
Okay, thank you.
Let me see if I can just read it to you guys now, if I can find it. Unless you have to go since we're at the top of the hour.
No.
No. I think I moved it and now I'm been taking notes and then I move it into the drive, but I'm not seeing it here. Hold on. Oh, okay. Here's something that you guys could do, like if you're just aware of like kind of like the top, I don't know, 12 to 15 questions that are quite standard. Like when I do meet and greets, it's always like, how do I start? Or how do I create a class? Or you know what I mean? Things that are kind of like come up regularly that you guys know people have.
How do I get more people in my classes?
How do I get more people in my classes?
I hear the most.
Right. Well, so it's ideally like the idea is sort of like flowing through, like each one flows through. So we start with Gary and he can talk about, you know, creating classes, engaging, whatever we can, you know, he's been so great lately about the economic viability stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I would really like to have is that it doesn't like keep covering the same topic, but it spins into another thing that people are interested. So like if Gary does that, like, you know, hey, Gary covered economic viability, la la la. If you're talking with Simone, it's kind of like we're getting Simone to pull out a whole other section that we may not have covered. So again, it's kind of like we'll see how we go. I think that's part of like if we're really present on the series, it'll talk to us as we go each time, and we'll see like
okay. Yeah, no, I love it. So it's not going to them and saying, "Will you talk about this?" It's just, "Will you be on this?" And we can let you know as the series progresses what we would love you to talk about, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, Gary would like all of us to contribute to all facilitators from a mentor, like basically as mentors, so that they can grow their business, become better facilitators, really like know what access is, etc. So I can write that part out, or I can send each person a message like everyone is going to probably be fine. Shannon is the one that might ask some questions. I think Sean knows. Arthur will do whatever. Arthur is going to come on naked. But we also don't have to have him on. Do you know what I mean? Like he's done a lot of different things. I just threw him out as a possibility.
Sometimes he scares people.
Right.
Sean is really great. He just did a really great talk with the liaisons about LinkedIn and how you can use LinkedIn to your advantage and how you can communicate with business, you know, find a business, a business and find the right person to, you know, to connect with, to ask a question.
Here's my secret wish between the four of us and whoever listens to this recording. I would love this to be about access. So Sean loves LinkedIn, but it's like you can go take a LinkedIn course out there anytime. Like, how do we get them talking about how they use access tools to create anything in their life, in their business? So it doesn't become another business course or marketing course, or like You know, when Gary talked, like, I don't know, I think you guys are on the CF training, but just hearing how he talks about how he's created it all along the way and question choice, possibility, like awareness all along the way. I really don't want to fall into us just giving like this reality perspective on
Okay. Mhm.
LinkedIn.
Okay, no,
No.
it's great for you to have said that because
Like Chris Hughes, you know, David and he did a thing last night, which I want to
no,
send
it's so
out to
good.
facilitators.
Yeah,
So fucking good. Like Chris was like, okay, if
yeah,
you do Instagram from like, stop putting shit out there. Like, what can you be that's inspiring something else? Which it's not how to use Instagram to grow your business, which is it's boring to me at this
yeah,
point.
yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of what I'm after. And I know I can't control everyone. I wish I could, but I would like to steer, like if I can tell you guys that, you can help steer
Yes, no,
that
yeah,
direction.
but that's
Well,
great that you
and that the energy of that is so much more expansive.
Yeah.
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 And but so this is just a point of view that came up for me is that so all the calls are going to be different. We're not covering the same material, but could there be a thread of engagement or how each of those
Yeah.
people engaged with people or
Yeah. I love that. I don't know what that is right now, but let's ask for it to show up.
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. And let's make it about the tools. You know, it's like, it's not
Yeah.
about people. It's
yeah,
really not. It's about, if we make it about the facilitators and their questions and what we can contribute, let's not make it about how cool Arthur and Sean are or whatever, or me, how cool I am, or you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it has to be about how cool you are, Megan.
yeah, I know we have to. So just me, I can do that, but everyone else, it'll have to be. Just kidding.
Well, and that's that. See, that's one of the things that comes up, and I get questions, and I field questions in customer service and complaints and all that sort of thing. Is that, and people will say, "Well, da 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 da," and I'm like, "But it's not about the facilitator. It's
Yeah,
the class."
the
You
class.
know, somebody came. I hosted somebody for a 3-day body class here, and it was all about their picture. And I'm like, "No, it's not about you."
Yeah,
And so that. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm excited that this is
I'm gonna do my
bigger
best.
than all.
You know, we'll see. But even like the page, honestly, like once I got the page up, I was like, got it kind of because I listen to Gary all the time and talk to him, and I'm just like, even that is even the page itself, it's not there anymore. There it is like, I don't know, maybe too much this reality. I could just put a question, you know. So it's kind of like I keep dancing with you know, letting people get information so they know what to expect and also putting them into question. So we'll see. But as you guys are like, now that it's in your world, allow it to talk to you because that's the other thing. It talks to me every day and it's changing every day. Because I really look at this from, and I'll drop the link and stuff in our thread. But I really look at this from like what Gary's been talking about. Like, what do we need to like for the success we'd like to have in the future? Where can we go? And what can we choose? And what can we create? And for me, it's like if when I first came along, this was the most unique thing on the planet.
yeah.
It blew my, like, I'd been working in marketing for 14 years. It trumped that dynamically based on magic, essentially, and the magic that I be.
Mm. I think also the being you celebrate, not being you, sorry, I just had the being you notes come up.
All the bars.
The global bar celebration will
Yeah.
contribute to this, and until that has happened,
Yeah.
you know, because I really get that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of conversations maybe around whatever with
Yeah.
that.
And I'd like this to be very different than anything that we've ever done before. You know, rather than I don't want it to feel like an access commercial. I want it to really be like, really, we're here for them and what can we contribute to them having, you know, the most ease in their life. And if they do 100 bars classes, or if they just do one, or they're just running bars or whatever, or body processes or what, like there's so many people when you list, like, do you remember when we had it was on I think it was a CF call, or maybe it was a facilitator call, and we had Connor, Desiree, Arthur, and someone else that I can't remember talking about engagement. Were you guys on that? Like
Was it? Yeah.
about a year ago, I think. And it was so, because if you only have Arthur talking about engagement, then you only have Arthur's point of view on engagement.
Mm.
But when you had Desiree and Connor, oh, Diva was on. It just showed they each had a totally different way of engaging. And if you took all of it, it was like huge. But if you would have just had Desiree, it would have been Desiree's world.
Yeah.
If you would have just had Arthur, it would have been Arthur's world. So it's kind of like, do we take what everybody knows and how they create and how they move through the world and contribute that to people, however they receive it is up to them, obviously, but kind of like really make it about the tools and action in creating a business.
And now that
Yeah.
we've had all the messed reality stuff and clearings and
I
everything,
wonder if we
how
want,
different is it going to be to talk
Yeah.
about?
I wonder if we want to get someone like Nicolette on as well.
I wouldn't personally.
No.
I don't know what, like, to me, she's wonderful, but she's still like, she's something that I would rather have someone on there who like does just wizardry stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see as the most successful facilitator, but they've been cranking forever. You know, I thought even about like somebody like Glenna Rice, or actually, I had a whole list of people. The thing is, when you open up one door, then you open up like a huge door. So I had a list. It could be like a second part to this of people who are true mentors, like Glenna, Marilyn. I don't know, when I hear Marilyn talk about access and the tools and facilitating, like she's so clear on facilitating. So for me, it's also about clarity on facilitating, not just creating your classes.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Okay.
I'm venting a lot about what I want this to be. Now it's all coming out of my head, which is great.
No, but this is great because
Well, Gary asked you,
Yeah.
what did he know?
Yeah. And we'll see what it'll be. You know, I totally know I can't control any of it, but I'm like, this is my desire that it's something that's really.
And it's so great because I think we asked Pam a few weeks back what's happening about the mentorship program. And I think Pam said, well, I think Megan's sorting it, you know, why don't you ping her and ask her, you know, I'm sure she'll, and I'm like, because I know we spoke about this in our first meeting that we all had together. And then it's been pinging me to, you know, to like, Megan, what's happening? Because you were going to go and speak to Sean about it. I had no idea this was all being great. It's really cool that it's all.
Yeah. Well, there's 8 million other things that have come up. So there's basically like, you know, which company do we run it through? So the online Kajabi thing does go to the European company. But there's also like, there's a lot of other engaging style things. Like Gary wants to do more intros. I kind of think this is just the beginning. Like we'll do this, and then how do we continuously, like, how does it all play together? So
this is so exciting. I've been so aware that 2026 is just
gonna boom.
a volcano, just exploding.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know, like you talk to people, you know, when you talk like people will randomly call me for facilitation all the time about something, working with people, or like yesterday, somebody was calling because they had somebody that was a complete asshole. And she was like, do I just fire her? And I'm like, well, is she doing her job? And she's like, well, yeah, but she's being a bitch. And I'm like, well, why don't you just let her be a bitch? Like, why do you care? But that kind of stuff where it's like, it's a different way of working with everything.
Yeah.
And I know that for me, we get to have these a lot in personal conversations or gaggle meetings, or, you know what I mean? Whatever. But like, what if we can bring that and expand it so people realize like we literally don't function like anything else out there.
And it's so interesting because we do forget we're in like a bubble in the way that we create with each other. We had Max and I did a practitioner call with everyone with people in the UK, and they were all of them so hungry for connection.
Yeah.
You know, with other people, and they wanted to come on and have this, like, you know, they've been asking for this to happen where they can jump on a call and connect with people, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and we forget because we're doing this all the time, you know, that
I mean, how cool would it be for people to feel like they just get to hop on and have conversations about their business, you know?
Yeah.
If we can create it that way, again, it kind of becomes interesting when there's a lot of people, but even
But
like even if like I was like I could host every call and help do that. I could have you and maybe Kate like also, you know, like divide it up. But even what I would like it to not come is a two-way conversation that everyone's watching. Do you know what I mean? I would really love it to feel like it's their conversation. And so,
well, a little bit like conversations in consciousness, I guess, where it's
yeah,
much more
yeah. But I also need
conversation.
my hopes and dreams bars run because I've been on big, you know, big calls with bars facilitators and it becomes like so nitpicky, you know,
Yeah.
about stuff Carolyn probably has to deal with every day.
Um, yeah, and that's okay. That's what allowance is for.
Yeah. I need more allowance. That's what's happening probably.
But then it's so true. I mean, there's the tools, right? I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who also works for Access and blah blah blah, and I'm like, man, that like I was just on a different page, and I'm like, oh, I can use the tools,
Yeah.
Pock and Pod, and just get rid of it all. And so if they create havoc, oh well.
Yeah.
That you have Gary and Dane on your shoulders
Yeah,
with everything that you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it'd be very, very cool for this series, like to have an engagement thread, but to also have the thread, just like you were saying, Megan, that use the tools. Like
Yeah.
use the fucking tools.
Yeah.
And can we
And
invite them like to share how they use the tool? Like I don't know
Yeah.
if in the thread or maybe like when we do a Zoom, like just sharing how the tools have changed your life,
Yeah. And the so
something like that, or the videos or something.
this
Like
was the other thing again. So I've been like, I just was like, I just need to get it out there. But the other thing I was looking at is it could be like 30 minutes with the guest and then 30 minutes with us just, you know, like that kind of like engaging and people are sharing. Because the other thing I love is maybe every call we give them like a tool to play with. Like, okay, from now until the next week, we hope to see you on the next week or whatever. What if you practiced using all of Life Comes to Me with Ease, Joy, and Glory with everything regarding all of your
Yeah.
classes?
Yeah.
And then they show up the next week and we can like, you know, chat about it and they can, you know, have that. It's just that I think I have PTSD from all the like there's so many people who just want to talk and like dominate the conversation and then they don't shut up and you have to mute them, you know.
And then I'm also wondering, just as an idea to throw it out there, once we finish once the sort of 12-part series is done,
Yeah.
could we even keep it going maybe once every 2 weeks, you know, we just keep it like as an ongoing series, not
Yeah.
having it so much structured, but
Yeah.
let's see, you know, who we can have on for next week and then, you know,
Yeah.
use it as a platform to.
Yeah. Yeah, because once this is set up, essentially it can just roll. You know,
Yeah.
they pay,
yeah,
they get to like that's all the stuff that like I still need to help like write all of the emails and everything. But once it's set, essentially we can add and go. And then, you know, there's the letting people know things. But for 25 bucks, plus you'll have people, the $25 will make it when someone pays something, it creates something really different. So
Mhm.
could even have little 5-minute videos to gift with each of the facilitators
yeah.
talking about their favorite tools.
Yeah, I love that. And that, you know, the Telegram thread could come alive in that way. And then, you know, Natalia, when you're like, what about threads? This could be, you know, we've been looking at how do we create engagement with different facilitators. Like the Telegram thread could become a new place that, you know, people can go wild in. Um, Kate knows how to set it. Like we set one up, Kate set one up by language. Uliana showed her how to. I don't know if it really worked well. It was for global bars
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know if it worked well or not, but it's an idea to be able to engage in your language. But Telegram also you can translate, so we shall see. So let's just keep, to me, I like, we can change, we can do the first call and change it all after that. I just know we need to get it started. So
10 out of 10, Megan.
thanks.
I'm very impressed.
Thanks for letting me vent about it all.
100 out of 10. Yeah.
I think I'm perceiving it being this really ongoing thing, and I'm trying to fit it into 12. So thank you for that. Because sometimes my brain tries to order.
Yeah.
It's really chaotic. So
yeah. Because I would love to see it being like an ongoing thing, because we, this is
different than people are tired of like practitioner call, like not tired of it, but like we get on and we do the same thing and it becomes the same questions and you're like, oh God. But
the same people.
Yeah. But the other thing to acknowledge is like there are new bars facilitators coming on all the time.
Yeah.
So it's
I would say if it's over 12 weeks, we can even rotate the people. So they're coming on maybe once every 3 months to have a, to talk.
Yeah.
We can have the same people, we can have Katerina coming on 3 months.
There's so many people. I think people like when I talk with people, I love hearing how they do. Like Andrew Gardella is brilliant in how he pulls energy. He fucking pulls like, he's all energetic. And then, there's so many people who have been around. Like that's what I would say, whoever is on, it's like somebody who is a mentor who's been around for a long time. Like Norma, she started bars in Brazil and look where bars is at, So, and we could weave in different languages and stuff too. I went down that path and then I took myself off that path because it was getting too complicated. But we could have, hey, this is the Spanish edition of La La La, or this is the Portuguese edition of whatever, and have it in their language, And there are people.
Oh my God, there's just it's a total geyser of ideas.
Yeah. I know. This is why it's taking me so long to put it into one little tiny thing.
That's genius. Yeah.
But also, if what I kept looking at is who is an actual mentor. Like Norma would never make it about Norma.
No.
Mm-hmm. Whereas for me, Nicolette kind of makes it about Nicolette, but don't tell her.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So but thank you for saying that, because I didn't.
Well, that might be my judgment, and that's fine. So, Hawk and Pod me.
Maybe it's an awareness.
No, but there are people who are doing it for themselves as opposed to doing it for doing it for access and really for consciousness at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Which is different.
And so there might be people that pop, like that would be like a contribution to have on. But again, it's like, are they going to make it? I think it's like, are they going to make it about them? Or are they going to make it about, facilitators and growing their business?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
And it doesn't have to be like, some people will make it about them no matter what. And they might still contribute. So there's my hopes and dreams for a perfect world where everyone contributes.
I love it. Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's amazing. What'd you say, Carolyn?
And I said, every household in the world has had bars.
Yes.
I facilitated a bars class last week for 4 women, 3 of whom are like big time business owners, blah, 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 blah. And 2 of them came only because the one person said, you have to do this. It'll help. At one point they were going, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't do this for the money. I mean, the money's nice, but it's like, look how it's changed everybody. And they were like, huh?
Yes.
So I'm hoping. So my hopes and dreams is that they're going to now spread that, because one of the women mentors people all around the world.
Yeah. And that's the energy that, because Dane's been talking about, it's not about the money, but I really just got it in a different way on the CF training. If you guys, I don't know if you guys were on, but
I am. Yeah.
Pamela Grace, who's been she's been around forever, and she's been a CPCK facilitator, like one of 3 people that are actually doing that class. And she asked this question about, basically she was traveling all over offering CPCK classes, and then and then she stopped, and Dane was like, did you stop because of money? And she did. But so they got her to see where, like, just because she wasn't making money every time from the classes, the rest of her life was growing and incredible and thriving. Like the economic viability of the world changing, the receiving that you get that may not be in actual dollars, like all these other things. Like, and she had shut it down because her husband had a point of view about something, but it's like
Wow.
her life started kind of getting worse because she stopped doing it because she wasn't making money, like making a profit. I think she was covering, but I'm like, I think I'm so, like you said, Carolyn, like I used to do bars classes just for the fun of it. If people showed up, great. If they didn't, fine. And somewhere along the way, I'm like, well, if I can't get enough people for a venue or whatever, I used to just do them out of my house, and whoever.
Yeah, exactly. And this woman had it. I flew over to the Vancouver Island. It was like a
Yes,
25-minute flight.
yes,
The flight was late, and she was pissed when I arrived. And I'm like, oh well.
yeah,
Couldn't get the computer to hook up. Oh well. So we ran
yeah,
bars. And it was just so much fun. And by the end of the day, it
yeah,
was like everybody was just like a puddle.
yeah.
It's so much fun. And I understand that people need to create money in their
I did, yeah,
lives,
exactly.
but it's
But if you do it for the money, it's never going to work. If you
no.
do it for the
Mhm.
fun and the joy, it can create money, and it can create money in different areas. Like, yeah,
Well, and the thing is that she had a bars run in South Africa, came back to Canada, and looked on the website, and she chose me out of all of the BFs in BC.
yeah.
And she said, "Oh no, you're just gonna make." And this is like, she is a hard-nosed, meant her military kind of thing. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
how cool is that?
Wow.
And so that, yeah, okay, no, I don't have plans for her. I just like bars and business. That would be really
Yeah.
good. But that energy of, why wouldn't you share this?
Yeah. 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 And Gary's really been in this training a lot. Like, how many people have you called? Like, who have you actually engaged with? Like that level of engagement, like
Yeah.
just for fun, So
Yeah,
anyway,
it's just, I mean, my life is no different at all since I started bars.
right. I know. Not at all. Yeah.
14 years
Even
ago.
like Alexa, who's been working with our social media team forever.
Oh, my Alexa just turned on.
Oh my God. Not you, Alexa. She really just all of a sudden she did she created her podcast. She just had Gary on, and she lives in LA, and she's this cute little thing, and I'm like, she's messaging me. She's like, all of a sudden I'm becoming somebody people want to meet. And she was at a party with like Justin Bieber, like, you know what I mean? Like she's becoming part of the crowd that they're wanting to know who she is and what she does. And I don't know, I just feel like there's like all that kind of stuff is opening up again, because that's how much ease we had 10 years ago creating. It was like, boom, yep, possibilities are everywhere. Classes aren't hard. People want this stuff. So
It did go very like this, isn't it? Very, very
yeah,
structured and not about the possibilities and
yeah.
magic. Yeah.
I have to pee.
Well, we
Yeah,
can get
are
off.
we
It's
done?
an hour and a half.
We
So
have. It's been wonderful. Thank you, ladies.
thank you guys. I'll see you the
Thank you.
next time.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.